Now today's video marks the first in an online series that I'm going to create about keyboard harmony. And the first thing we are going to do is learn how to connect tonic triads with the subdominant triad, and we're going to learn how to connect tonic triads with the dominant triad. And we are going to learn how to do this in the most efficient and economical way possible. Okay? So the point of these videos is to take the voice leading rules that you learned in harmony class that exist in your head and translate them into your hand muscles so that you can do them quickly without thinking. I see a lot of young pianists with a large vocabulary of chords, but what they do is they end up playing everything in parallel. For example, if I want to go from C major to F major, I'll see students do this. And they'll pick up their hand and go all the way to F major and then pick up their hand, G major, C major. That's called parallelism, and I don't like it for so many reasons that I won't have time to fit them into this video. But we can do much better if we just learn a few simple hand maneuvers. You can't do it. I mean, when you jump on the piano, the risk for missing the notes is really high. It's hard to be accurate. You also can't carry legato lines through the chord progressions. It's crummy, makes you look amateurish. We're going to do better. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn to connect the 1 chord with the 4 chord and the 1 chord with the 5 chord. The first thing you need to know is that the 1 chord shares a common tone with the 4 chord, and the 1 chord shares a common tone with the 5 chord. And we need to take advantage of common tones. If you think about it, when you move between 2 chords, there's only 2 situations you'll ever find yourself in. Either the 2 chords you're about to play have a common tone, or they don't. In this video, we're going to learn about chords that do have common tones, and we're going to learn how to use them. So, let's begin by connecting the 1 chord with the 4 chord. In any major or minor key, when you go from the tonic triad to the subdominant triad in a keyboard style fashion, the root of the 1 chord is the common tone that connects the 1 chord with the 4 chord. And what we're going to do is we're going to play it, we're going to hold it down, and the other 2 voices move by step. So for example, in D major, if I'm connecting the 1 chord and the 4 chord, the 1 chord is D major, the 4 chord is G major. D major and G major share a common tone. It's the note D. I need to be aware of where that is in my right hand, and that finger is not going to move. It's going to stay locked on to that common tone, and the other 2 voices are going to move by step to the correct notes. So for example, if I play a D major chord, and I want to get to a G major chord really efficiently, my right hand thumb is on D. I'm going to hold it down as a common tone, and then these other 2 voices are just going to step up to their neighbor notes up here and play a G major. See how easy that is? I didn't even lift up my thumb to play it twice. I just held down the common tone. That's a lot better than doing this. It sounds nicer too. You can come back. This remains true even if our right hand stays or starts in a different inversion. So in this case, the D common tone is in my pinky up here, and I'm going to pull in stepwise motion to get to the 4 chord, and I'm still going to hold my pinky. Common tone didn't move. And I'm doing my best to use legato fingering. I'm sliding my thumb to create a legato line there. And then of course up here, D, the common tone is in the middle voice, so this finger isn't going to move, and then everything else is going to pivot around it. That's so much better than this. almost can't do that. That's so hard. This is so much easier. Same thing in D minor. Common tone didn't move. Common tone is here. I'm not even lifting up the common tone. When I play for real, I actually re-articulate the common tone, but for these exercises, it's good to hold it down because then you're trapped. You have to use it and you're teaching your hand to, you're teaching your other fingers to deal with it. So if I was playing in real life, I would play the common tone twice, but for these exercises, just hold it. It's good for your muscles, and it teaches your muscles to work around that single anchor point. Now let's connect the tonic triad with a dominant triad, or the 1 chord with the 5 chord. When you connect a tonic triad with a dominant triad, the 5th of the tonic triad is the common tone. So in any major or minor key, if you need to go between the 1 chord and the 5 chord, the 5th of the tonic triad will be sustained over in these exercises. Let's do what's easy. F major. So I want to get from a 1 chord to a 5 chord. The 1 chord in F major is F. The 5 chord is C. C is the 5th of F major triad. So it's the C that's going to be the common tone. It's in my pinky. Actually, I'll start with it. I'll put it in my thumb so you can see it on that camera. C is the common tone. I'm not going to move this finger. I'm going to keep it locked down, and my other 2 voices are going to move by step to the other notes of the C major triad. See how easy that is? C is the common tone, and the other 2 voices are moving to their neighbor notes. If I started in this inversion, C would be up here. I'm going to hold it down in my pinky. I'm not even going to lift up my hand or my finger. That's not right. Oops. These are neighboring. There's the root. There's the common tone. And if the C is in the middle, same thing. Common tone never moves. So much better than... Don't want to play like a woodpecker. And in a minor key, if we do F minor, same thing. Remember, in minor keys we have to raise the leading tone of the dominant, so it's going to be a C major chord and an F minor chord connected. C is still the common tone. C is still the common tone. Now, that's easy enough, but you have to be able to do that simple hand maneuver in every single key before you watch my next video. That might take a month. You have to be able to do 1-4-1 in every key. Here's C major, 1-4-1, D flat major, D major, E flat major, E major, F major. Takes a long time, but what else do you have to do? Just do it. You have to be able to go between the 1 chord and the 4 chord and the 1 chord and the 5 chord in every single major and minor key. Your hand just has to know what that feels like so that you can do it without thinking. That is the primary hand maneuver of keyboard harmony. That happens like more than half the time, just doing that snap motion, going back and forth. And I'm going to talk even more about that exact same motion in the next video. One more thing before we're done. Did you notice harmony-wise what's actually happening to the tonic note between those 2 chord progressions? Remember in harmony class we learned that the 4 chord sometimes acts as a neighbor to the 1 chord, or it acts as its tonic expansion. Now, when we were in class, we just had to take the teacher's word for it. But now that you feel it in your hand, you can actually figure out why. Look, in C major, when I connect the 1 chord to the 4 chord, look at what the tonic does. The tonic does absolutely nothing. It just sits there. That's why this is tonic expansion, because the audience is hearing the tonic sustained through all those chords. Look at what happens when we go from 1 to 5, however. What happens to the tonic? The tonic disappears, moves to the leading tone, and then snaps back into the 1 chord. So when the tonic voice moves to the leading tone and comes back, that's tonicizing C. The leading tone is adding the tonal pressure to the note C that makes our ears confirm C as the home key. So you might have gone your entire harmony class knowing that, but not really knowing it until you actually put your hands down on the piano and see what's going on. So you can't watch the next video until you can do what I just did in every single key. You have to be able to transpose it. I said a lot in this video. I made worksheets that are available on my Classical Context website for this course, for the keyboard harmony course. This is worksheet number 1. It is unfortunately, unlike my other videos, it is not free. You owe me a few dollars. Okay, it's a PDF, it's 1 page long, it's a couple bucks. Go to my website, give me $1 or $2, and you can download it. That prevents me from starving, it makes you smarter, and I give it to all my students. What they do is they take this worksheet and they keep it on their piano, and just like when they're practicing the piano every day, just like they do their scales and arpeggios and dominant 7th chords, they also do these chord progressions, and they choose a different key each day and they do them. It helps them perform their music faster, because guess what? Mozart, Haydn, and Beethoven built their music out of these hand maneuvers. It's figured bass from the Baroque era. That's what we're doing. So I hope you'll go download that worksheet, and I'm not kidding. Don't bother watching the next video until you can do it in every key, otherwise you're wasting everyone's time. Learn to transpose it, and then you can watch part 2 of this video.